Okay, so by now you have probably realized that Instagram has been losing many of its 1 billion users to TikTok. And naturally, their response to this was to launch the new feature Reels, which officially launched, I believe, in the fall of 2020. And since then, Instagram has apparently directed a team of people to search for some of the most creative reels that users have been making on the app, and to specifically reach out to these creators. Today I'm going to be sharing the official secret to success on Instagram as relayed to creators recently by Instagram. So if you've ever wondered what exactly it takes to succeed on Instagram, like so many of your favorite creators, we finally seem to have a legitimate answer from Instagram, thanks to a blog post published on December 20th, 2020 by the creator Rachel Reichenbach behind the Instagram account Rainy Loom, which I've linked to below this video. Rachel is an artist and a college student in the Bay Area, and I believe she currently has around 80,000 Instagram followers. And she got an email last fall from Instagram offering to help her expand her audience. And naturally, like anyone, she was intrigued and took the meeting. And then recently she was quoted in the New York Times saying he had this spiel that he had to go through. And basically it was all about Reels and how you can use Reels to make your reach better. And 1 month after the meeting, she posted details about the meeting on her blog, and the post went viral within just a few days, and I believe has been viewed upwards of 250,000 times since. And the New York Times reported that Jackson Williams, who oversees talent outreach and development on Instagram, confirms the contents of her posts were generally accurate, as was her characterization of the meeting. And in the post she says, back in November, Instagram reached out to me and asked me to schedule a call with them so that a media expert from Instagram's partnership team could give me advice on how I could grow my accounts. I shall now share the results of my espionage with you. And she goes on to say she got a ton of really useful information from the call. But the most important thing she learned was that Instagram's algorithm will either reward or punish you based on your usage of the app as a whole. And she explains that the algorithm considers well over 500 different factors, taking much more into account than your amount of likes, comments, and views. Okay, so basically the Instagram representative explained to her that the algorithm ranks your posts by taking into account your use of Instagram as a whole. And I go into a lot of this in the e-courses, but she does say, you know, because there are really a lot of things that Instagram does take into account when it's promoting your posts to other users, okay? And it's so much more than just the engagement that you're getting, okay? And she says in the post to think of it like the algorithm is grading you in a class. One test alone doesn't determine your whole grade. There's still participation points, homework, classwork, projects, etc., etc. You've gotta participate throughout the class as a whole, not just show up for one test and get an A on it. And aside from that, she says there are 3 things that Instagram wants creators to focus on to boost their engagement. 1 being Reels, 2 being to utilize all of Instagram's features, and 3 to be consistent. So let's talk about tip number 1, making Reels. As you know, Reels are a new feature on Instagram, and because they're competing with TikTok, that means creating Reels is the cheat sheet to success currently. Reels is also one of the reasons why users saw their engagement tank last fall. And that's because Instagram is currently intent on promoting Reels in order to compete with TikTok, okay? Right now, Reels are getting center stage. There's really no getting around that. And Rachel explains in her post that if you are not posting at least one reel a week, the algorithm is going to punish all of your posts. Have you experienced this? Let me know in the comments below. Go ahead and pause the video and let me know, because I'm really curious if that's true and if other people are really experiencing that. And her example is, I post a reel on Monday. I make normal posts Tuesday through Friday. All of my posts for this week will now see higher engagement because of this. Then she says, I haven't posted a reel in 2 weeks. My engagement for this past week has absolutely tanked. Once I post a reel again, the posts that follow have a much better shot at seeing more engagement. Apparently, Instagram gave her the secret recipe to success in this meeting, and that is to post reels. And when it comes to posting reels, ideally, you want to create 4 to 7 reels a week. Further, they explained that Instagram currently has a team that is dedicated to finding really great reels to promote right now. And if your reel is chosen to be featured, they're going to show it to a lot of people for about a month, okay? And that's going to lead to a ton of views that you normally just probably wouldn't get, okay? But keep in mind that this team is looking within the back end of the app for reels that were made using Instagram's in-app Reels editor, which means you do not want to recycle your TikToks into Reels. Now, yes, you can still experience a lot of engagement and views if you do recycle your TikToks into Instagram Reels. But basically, you will be disqualifying yourself from being chosen by the team, because again, they're looking at the back end for reels that have been created using Instagram's in-app Reels editor. Okay, so keep that in mind. Tip number 2, she says, Instagram wants creators using Instagram's creative tools, and they want you to use them often. And this basically means Instagram wants you to take pictures with their in-app camera, and they want you to edit those photos with their in-app editing tools, and they want you to create stories within the stories camera, and they want you to use all the tools that they provide you within stories to create more engaging stories. And ideally, they want you to do the same thing when you're creating IGTV videos and of course, reels, okay? Why? My guess is because Instagram wants people to spend more time on the app, and that goes for people that are following you, that are watching and viewing the content that you create, and also for creators who they want to be spending time on the app creating. And they also apparently like it when people do things aside from just scrolling the feed and liking images. For example, they like it when they watch reels, they like it when they watch IGTV videos, and of course stories, okay? And she says in the post, they like it when you post a combination of normal posts, reels, IGTV videos, and stories, and even shoppable posts, okay? So keep that in mind. And based on Rachel's article and several other creators who have also spoken with this team at Instagram, the official recommended secret to success on Instagram is to create the following content on a weekly basis. 8 to 10 stories a week, and you want to consider stories as like a funnel for the rest of your content. The more followers engage with your stories, the more likely your content will get surfaced in their feeds. So what is engagement? Answering polls, answering Q&A stickers, sending you a direct message within the little direct message sticker, things like that. They also want you to create 4 to 7 reels a week, with the ideal time length being 30 seconds. And again, they should be created natively within the app and not just recycled from TikTok. They also want you to create 3 feed posts a week, preferably carousel posts, which increase the time that followers spend interacting with your content. Because Instagram can get a lot of good feedback from a post if people are spending a lot of time on it. If people are swiping through a post because there's a lot of images in the carousel, then that's a good sign to Instagram that someone's really engaging with this post, and that's a green flag to show it to more people. Similar to if someone's clicking the 3 dots to read more and someone has a really long caption and then that person's taking the time to read that caption and then maybe comment on it, that's a good sign to Instagram that this is a great post, let's show it to more people. But I digress. They also want you to create 1 to 3 IGTV videos a week. Ideally, they want the time length to be about 2 minutes for each video. And they recommend that you create 1 live video a week, and the ideal length for that is an hour. So as you can imagine and may have seen on TikTok or elsewhere, creators' reaction to this list of content that Instagram has been vocal about recently is, mixed. For some, there is like a relief in knowing, okay, this is what I need to create in order to find success on Instagram, even if it is overwhelming. And, they think that as a creator, you should want to be creating posts and you should be wanting to create content, and doing so is going to make you a better creator. And yes, there is definitely some truth to that. But others, on the other hand, have felt completely blindsided and really overwhelmed by this list, and rightfully so, especially considering the additional demand to use Instagram's creative tools to make the content, which as a creator myself, I feel is limiting to someone who is creative when you could be using other tools outside of the app to create something. Creativity is a very unique process, and in my opinion, I don't think anyone should be limited to only using specific tools to create content. But that's just me. Maybe you enjoy using Instagram's creative tools to create content, and in that case, Instagram's going to reward you for doing so. But at the end of the day, I always think it's better to create quality content than quantity, because as a creator, it's very easy to get overwhelmed creating. And so this is quite a long list of things that creators need to be creating in order to be successful on Instagram. And I'm going to get into more of my thoughts on this at the end of the video. But for now, let's move on to tip number 3, and that is to be consistent. She says that the representative really stressed that it's very important to be consistent on the app, and that makes sense. And some examples he gave her would be to post on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, or post every other day, or post 3 times a week. Further, she writes that it was recommended users publish posts consistently at the same time during followers' peak hours, which you can find in your insights, over a long period of time. And the algorithm likes consistency and patterns, and breaking that pattern doesn't make it happy, okay? But she goes on to say that following all of these instructions right away will not cause you to see instant success and growth. And the key here is to be consistent and persistent over time, and eventually you'll maybe get there. And as a blogger, I can definitely attest to this. Creating content is, again, all about quality over quantity. Yes, you want to stay consistent, and consistency is great. As a blogger, it showed, Google that I was consistently putting out content, and it showed the people that were reading the blog that I was consistently putting out content. So other bloggers would post lots of blog posts, and that's great. Some people find a lot of success with that, but it's important to keep in mind that that can also make you burnt out. So just being consistent is going to get you further in the long term, at least in my experience. And so that goes for Instagram too. But at the end of the day, these are things that Instagram's algorithm weighs the most, and that's just currently. So again, there are 500 other factors that it takes into consideration. So take a deep breath and just relax. You by no means need to create all the content that they're recommending in this list to achieve success. In fact, there are plenty of other influencers who do not by any means create this amount of content every week, and they have achieved tremendous success, okay? And I'm sure that there will be plenty of other creators after this that will not ever create this amount of content on Instagram every week, and they also will achieve great success. Okay, so don't take this list as a end all be all. Instead, use the information as you will, but try to think of it as like a goal. Rachel ends the blog post by saying there are so many other things that factor into growing your Instagram audience, and this barely scratches the surface. And that's true. And she goes on to say that numbers and the amount of content you churn out isn't everything. So what I'd like to say at this point in the video is, again, please don't let this information stress you out. I know it's a very emotional topic and lots of people have had a lot to say about it. But I did do a lot of research into all of this on my own, and I did come across a partnership team at Instagram that, in my opinion, explains exactly who this advice is truly for. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's not for every creator on Instagram, but instead it's for a very specific creator that Instagram is partnering with for a very specific reason, okay? This is a lot of speculation, so I'm not going to get into the details in this video because, again, it's a lot of speculation. I did a lot of research, and so it is definitely for another video that I'll be filming next. So definitely, by all means, subscribe to the channel if you're not already so that you don't miss that video when it goes live. So turn on notifications as well if you haven't already. And then you can find out exactly who I believe this information is truly for. Again, I don't think it's for every creator on Instagram. So that is it for this video. If you like tips like this, definitely check out the link below this video. I'm going to be launching a membership website soon, and inside their website there's going to be a ton of courses that I've filmed over the past few years about Instagram growth, social psychology for social media. My background's in psychology and marketing, and also influencer marketing, as well as like weekly webinars and a place to ask questions and really get specific answers from me. So check out the link below this video to that, and you can sign up for an email list to be notified when the membership site launches. Okay, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with someone that you think would benefit. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year, and my goal is also publish one new video each week. And so I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions about this video, please leave that in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about Instagram growth that you would like me to address in future videos, leave those questions in the comments below as well, and I'll do my best to answer them in upcoming videos. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.